Good morning, everybody. It is April 20th, Monday. Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to try to be as positive as possible, even though in the back of my brain I'm concerned about work. Uh, but I'm not going to focus on that. Today I was reading in my devotional the story of the prodigal son. Now, most of us should know the story. It is a very well used story. Um, I'm an only child, so I don't have the same issue as the story of the prodigal son. Um, that in effect, I didn't go out and do my spending and adventuring until later on in life. But for anybody who has more than one child, and I'm not going to say that the story is based just on a son. It could be a daughter. We all love we. I don't have kids, so I can't tell you how to raise kids. I can only tell you how I was raised. And in my family, um, being I was the only child, I was not exactly 100% pampered, but I did get spoiled, most mostly by my grandmother when we visited. My father was, I wouldn't say that he was harsh. He did have his disciplinary standards, I guess you'd say. But my father and I, for the most part, yes, there will be tears. For the most part, got along until probably, oh, I say well, let's just put it this way. We did have our head butting and whatnot because we were both cut from almost the same cloth. Stubborn and pig-headed, I guess you'd say. Yeah, stubborn, definitely stubborn. Um, my father helped me out with a lot of things that I couldn't fully understand from school. Um, one of which was math. My father can sit down and solve basic mathematical equations. I never. By the time I got into algebra and whatnot, he was no longer with us. Um, but for simple mathematics, all the way up, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, he was a whiz. He could solve the answer and get the right answer on paper, but don't ask him about the formula because he did it all up here and put the answer down on the paper. And that was the biggest problem we were having. There was one incident while we were in Germany, he went to the school and proved the teacher wrong because the teacher was saying that I was getting the answers wrong. Um, because the whole argument was if my son can give you the correct answer, what does it matter how he got it as long as it was correct? And they were all like, well, he must be cheating or using a calculator or something like that. And that, of course, would not fly with my father because he knew better. Um, it wasn't until we got back to the States in Arizona and I was in junior high where they wanted you to put the answer on. They wanted you to write out the formula to get the answer, which um, I had problems with. And again, my father and I got into arguments about, well, this is what they want, blah blah blah, and yada yada yada, and his whole thing was, why does it matter if the answer is correct? Why does it matter the formula? They wanted you to prove that you were basically doing the right thing. And other than arguing about that and other life matters, basically, I have no regrets on how I was raised. I have no regrets on a lot of the different things that occurred because of school or just because of life in general. Um, my father had passed away in my mid 15s. No, yeah, I was 15 and a half when my father passed away, and there's a lot of things that we both missed out. Um, I never had anybody. You might think I've never shaved in my life. I have. I just never had anybody teach me. I had to learn a lot of stuff on my own because, not that I never went to mom about it, but excuse me. How does a boy ask his mother um, questions about male growth, hormonal changes, things like that? There's a lot of things that I didn't have a father for. Um, I had cousins. They weren't in the. A lot of them weren't living in the area, but I had cousins that I could have called. Um, Somebody attempted to be a father figure. That was yeah. That was something that just I don't talk about. um, but yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't really tell people how to raise a child, and I try not to. Um, I might make suggestions on disciplinary actions or some stuff like that, but I can only imagine what it would be like for a father who has a son who's out there, and it doesn't matter what the son is doing, what the child is doing, what the kid is doing. Um, once a kid comes a certain age, yeah, let him fly, let him go out and explore the world, but be there for him when they need you. And that's basically what the story of the prodigal son was. The father had two kids. The oldest one decided to go take his inheritance and go blow it. The other one stayed at home and cared for the family, cared for the farm. You know, things that back in those days you would hope, would happen. You'd hope that would happen nowadays too, but not as readily as back then when they had need for, you know, helping out on the family farm, that kind of thing. But yeah, the father let him go off and do what he wanted with his inheritance, and when every night he would wait, hoping the son would come home. And it wasn't until the son was basically destitute, broke, and alone, because all his so-called friends and party goers were only there because he had the money to go to throw these parties. But when he finally came home, the father greeted him, clothed him, fed him, brought him back onto the family farm. Even though the younger son who stayed ridiculed and wanted to ridicule him and basically tell the father to just forget him. He's gone. Every family has a black sheep. My cousin Luke, was kind of like the self-proclaimed black sheep because he liked to go out and party. He liked to go out and do things and, be a wild child. And, we all have that. Even I want to go out and do that from time to time, and I'm an only child. Um, it's the factor that the good parent, modern day times that we have good parents and we have bad parents. The good parent will let their child go off and explore the world, and then when the child comes home, they're open armed. They're accepted with open arms. The bad parent, well, the bad parent will basically just totally ignore the child. Basically, leave the child out of the family will or out of the won't even accept the child back for what they've done. Won't forgive. There's unfortunately those parents who do that. They kick kid out because can't handle the kid, or give the kid up because they're not ready for him, yet they bring him into the world. But our Father, God, He don't care what we do in the sense of being rebellious, blowing our inheritance, things like that. But He is a good Father. So no matter what we do, as long as we turn around, not really beg, but ask for forgiveness, and literally turn our lives around, He'll accept us right back. He'll forgive us for everything we've done and take us back. Now I'm pretty sure I have a subscriber who has been really good at hearing what I'm saying and pulling the Bible verse and putting it out in the comments. I really, really like that. It's, enjoyable. It's something that I like because the person kind of knows. Well, I shouldn't say kind of, but I have no hands. Sorry, folks. I was looking for a Kleenex. I don't have one. Unless it's on the other side of the room. This viewer has posted many a times after I've done a vlog, posted the Bible verse that I was talking about, which is great. I love that. I'm going to touch briefly on a subject, and it's something that kind of makes me laugh, yet it makes me go, that's the typical mentality of people. A couple days ago, I went on a rant because of the fact I was cranky as all get out, and just I had heard some information via multiple sources that just kind of upset me. And I went on a rant. And that rant was very negative, and I tried to ask people to be positive after my negative rant. And the results were, let's just say the results were not positive, and one particular person who seemed to be the shit stirrer. Now, I'm not going to mention names or anything like that because I'm not worried about it. I just think it's funny how, and it's not just me, I've seen it with other people, how, what's the expression my father-in-law used to use? Oh yes. Shit will draw more flies than honey. At least that's. I think that's what he used to say. I think it's kind of funny because you'd think honey would draw more people than vinegar. Um, but it's kind of funny. That's all. I am heading back to work today after one day off, which I'll explain why. Last week, or yeah, not this past Friday, but the week, a week ago, basically, about a week ago, I was still on vacation, and my supervisor called, and she was basically calling to see if I can come in on Wednesday, which was supposed to be my last day off. Um, she wanted me to come back to work a day early because corporation wanted her to set up, and I think I talked about this already. She wanted to set up a group and a B group. The A group, which is part of what I'm on, what is the group I'm on, basically is supposed to be working 4 days. So Monday through Thursday, I'm supposed to be working, and then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So, and I was like, sure, that's not a problem. So that's why I have one day off, because I'm technically on Group A, which starts this week, this AB thing. So I'm basically working Monday through Thursday, which is fine by me. I don't care. Like I told her once before, I work whatever hours I'm given. Now, if I'm given less than 30, yeah, I'll complain about it because technically I'm full time and I should be getting 35 to 40 hours. Here in Missouri, that's what's considered full time. And I said, sure, no problem. But the thing is, and it's not a bad thing, it's a seasonal thing, something I can't control. Because this is now allergy season, I have sinus issues, throat issue, respiratory issue. And that's because when my sinuses start getting all messed up because of the pollen and other allergens in the air. I don't always have like a runny nose. It's like clogged. It's like I took a pair of cotton balls and stuffed them up my nose so nothing could come out. So what happens? It goes postnasal drip down my throat, which irritates my throat. Then it gets into my lungs, and I have like bronchial issues. So I'm coughing and whatnot. People looking at me like I've got corona, and I'm like, no, it's or not corona, COVID. I keep on saying corona. I don't know why, but I'm like, no, it's allergies. It's just that time of year. It's really, you know. So, but what saddens me about the whole this time of year, especially with our crisis, our global crisis. Um, Me and Jerry went out yesterday to combination get out of the house and get a couple things that she needed for crafting. So, me and Jerry are wearing masks. I'm wearing a painter's desk mask, or one of those little masks that you see most people using when they mow their lawns and whatnot. And she's got just a scarf wrapped around her face because, excuse me, you don't need a rebreather or any kind of heavy mask. You can just wrap a scarf around your face, and that's supposed to be good enough. So we went out, and we went to Dollar General and Dollar Tree. Now, when we went into the first one, not everybody was wearing masks, but a number of people were wearing masks. And then when we went to the Dollar Tree, Jerry and I were the only two wearing masks, and the workers. One of the workers were wearing a mask. Nobody else was wearing a mask. And that's the same thing I see at my job. It's like, maybe 1 out of 10 people wear a mask. And I'm like, are we not taking this seriously? Has Trump said something on one of his telecasts or what broadcasts that makes people think it's not a necessity, even though CDC says it is? I don't know. But we're trying to remain as healthy as possible. Jerry Ann woke up. She had fallen asleep before I had come to bed. She had woken up just about the time I was coming to bed. And she was talking about how her stomach was bugging her. And then she thought she was gonna have to vomit. She didn't. It was just, I guess she thought she slept on her stomach wrong or something like that. I don't know. But other than that little scare and my allergies and whatnot, we're going strong. So we're still healthy as we can be under these circumstances. But my supervisor is on vacation for the week, or a staycation. We had both planned out our leave, basically our vacation, months before. I'd say about a month or so before this whole COVID shutdown started happening. So it was like, go ahead and take it, since companies are offering it up and basically saying that they'll pay up to 10 days off. So I'm hoping, even though I'm only supposed to get 5 days worth of pay, I'm hoping the other 4 days I was off, the company basically does what they say they're going to do. So basically, the person who's in charge while she's gone, let's just say she might have the years experience behind her for the store, but she does not have the ability or mindset really to be an effective manager. She barely has the speed factor to be an effective worker, because she likes being slow and she likes milking the clock, which company doesn't want us to do no more. So I'm like, great. How much stuff is she going to leave behind for the evening crew to deal with? Don't know. We'll see. All I can say is I'm just going to keep a positive outlook. I'm going to go in and do my best. Hopefully I don't have too much of a headache, because one of the things that I did hear from the manager before she left was today is truck day, which is basically our delivery. So one of the things she said is they better get it done before they go home. We'll see. We'll see. If not, I'll do what I can, because, like I said in one of my other videos, our hours might have been cut, but our customers seem to be increasing because everything else is closing 2 hours before we do. So it's going to be interesting. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment box. Like I said earlier, I have one viewer. I almost said customer. I have one viewer who's been very gracious with her knowledge of the Bible and putting in Bible verses, of corresponding Bible verses to what I've talked about. So that's been a joy. If you're new to the family and want to see or hear more, go ahead, tap that bell. YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, have a good day. God bless. Be safe.